Well, Russia launched more deadly drone and missile attacks across Ukraine overnight. The northeastern city of Kharkiv, in the northeastern city, a 10-year-old boy was killed, and at least 29 others were wounded. Meanwhile, a drone attack in southern Ukraine damaged a grain silo and set 9 trucks on fire. The new attacks come as the death toll from yesterday's Russian strike on a village in the northeast region of Ukraine rises to at least 52. It was the deadliest attack in the Kharkiv region since Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine over 19 months ago. So Charlie Daggett is following all of this for us from London. Yeah, when I heard the number of casualties yesterday, Charlie, I thought to myself, you know, we've heard casualties, but usually it's sort of a handful, single digits. Nowhere. This is quite a large amount. What are we learning about yesterday's attack?
Yeah, well, as you say, we now know that death toll has climbed to 52, a huge amount in a single strike. That's after we got confirmation that another victim died overnight. So what we know is a missile struck a cafe and a grocery store where a number of people had gathered for a funeral service. President Zelenskyy said, look, this was no accident, but an act of pure evil. And this type of attack is something that we've witnessed firsthand ourselves, where a group of civilians gathered in a town square. In that case, it was Lehman. Otherwise, you know, completely empty. And there was a direct hit on that crowd. And, you know, you may get the impression that missiles are falling out of the sky in every direction all the time. You know, it's war. But that's not the case, even closer to the fighting. So these are direct attacks on civilian targets in what Zelenskyy called a brutal Russian war crime.
So in the meantime, President Zelenskyy was in Spain meeting with European leaders to rally support for Ukraine. While he was there, he commented on the deadlock on Capitol Hill regarding military funding for Ukraine. I want to play some of that sound.
But I'm thankful to President, to Congress. I know that we have bipartisan support. I see these challenges, but I hope that, again, United States, Europe will be together with Ukraine, and I think we will help to go out from this crisis.
You know, he has got to be concerned. Right now we have a temporary sort of hold on things, right? We have 45 days before we hammer out another budget, hopefully. But the U.S. has been providing the lion's share of military and other aid to Ukraine. I don't know if other European countries will be able to fill that void should the U.S. pull back.
Well, you know, I think you could see in that statement his body language.
Yes.
He was sort of searching for words. So I think it's less a feeling of confidence than hope, as he said. They're worried enough about what's happening in the political uncertainties in the United States and what that may mean. As you said, that's the lion's share. But in that meeting in Spain, dozens of leaders, they gathered to voice their support. French President Emmanuel Macron saying that Europe must take the lead. But practically speaking, it's beyond Europe's capacity to fill that gap should the U.S. support and supplies run short, certainly in the short term. There is some positive news for Ukraine. Sweden today pledging a new $200 million military support package, mainly consisting of artillery. I can tell you they need that. But what's going on here is a lot of horse trading, too. Sweden said they'd be open to sending their own fighter jets, but that's not until they become NATO members. They say, look, we need them for ourselves. That's what they've been pushing for, and they don't have any to spare.
So what does Ukraine need now? We are heading into another winter.
Yeah. This is where it gets even more difficult. They need everything. They need artillery. They need tanks and weapons for those tanks, but especially air defenses. It was on the top of that wish list that Zelenskyy presented to the European summit. We remember, I was there last winter when Russia bombarded Ukraine's infrastructure in an effort to make life miserable for Ukrainians through that bitterly cold winter. So what we're holding out for is air defenses in what will be a brutal winter of war.
It certainly will be. Charlie, thank you very much.